टेबल नीचे किया दूंगा।
हाँ थोड़ा सा वो हटा दीजिएगा सर, क्लास स्टार्ट।
हाँ हाँ अभी ठीक है ठीक है बार कुछ होगा तो कॉल करूँगा। गुड इवनिंग गुड इवनिंग गुड इवनिंग गुड इवनिंग। Good evening. Sorry, I had a class before this, so I had to take this 15 minutes breather. But now we are back again. So, good evening, good evening. I'm good. I hope all of you are good. Some of you are meeting after the weekend batch, some of you morning batch, some of you just 15 minutes back. We were in class. So, the agenda is, as you've seen, we've changed the pattern of the webinars and we've now gone from going paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4, or rather not paper 4, we've gone subject wise. And the simple point is this helps you consolidate better because every month, therefore, I'm giving you 6 to 7 topics which you can revise with me in class itself. And therefore, we can consolidate everything together. So you already have the whole schedule. We are following polity, for example, geography or environment, and now today art and culture. Now you can do that, Ankush, if you want e-newspaper. Don't take business line. You don't need business line. Don't need business line. Okay. Now. So I'm sorry for the 15 minutes delay. Just came out of class and just needed a breather. Now we can start. Okay. So before we start, I hope you are all ready for the 24th or this Sunday itself. Our PTS starts, and therefore on BP and also offline, you would have already got this basic information in your email also. I hope you will be giving it. You will be giving it on 24th. It's, I think, a full course test with polity plus history. If you are our student, it is already part mega. If you aren't, then you have to pay. If you are a student of Byju's IS, Byju's exam prep IS, you are basically covered under that. When you joined us, you gave that for that. So don't have to give it separately. Now, polity and history, the details are already in your email ID. History, everything, polity, everything. I think that is the first paper. Second paper is, I think, geography and economics with current affairs. The purpose of the first three is basically to establish what are your weak areas. So do not skip it, irrespective of how many classes you've taken, whatever, how much you have covered. Give the exam, will give you a certain understanding so that you can understand how it is. Yes, Vaishali, for that also. Okay. So art and culture has now become dynamic. So from this point forward, I'm now going to the discussion we have to have now. I hope all of you are comfortable. Good evening. Till 10:30, we will finish this up. And we have 7 very important topics to discuss here. Firstly, good evening and welcome. Art and culture, current affairs. Why art and culture needs a specific webinar? Because slowly but surely, art and culture is becoming more and more dynamic. And therefore, current affairs aspect needs to be learned. Now, what I will do is, whatever current affairs I do, I'll do the static portion also behind it so that it becomes a fruitful session for you so that we can revise together. Now, these are the 7 topics we are going to cover today, wherein we'll start with something which has already been in the news quite a lot, which is Garbha. Garba, Gujarat, intangible. Then we'll talk about Kozhikode and Gwalior. Then a very interesting competition which have come in. In between, we'll be doing prelims related questions also. Then GI tags, a very favorite topic of a lot of students. Then a festival. Then a toy, which is handicraft. And then one program. So you can see we are doing intangible. We are doing 2 UNESCO related topics, 2 related to ministries, and 3 related to basic current affairs. Every month, most probably 6 to 7 we can manage every month, and that is the basic point in that way. So let's start our discussion with the first thing, which is intangible heritage, Garba. Are we all on the same page? Are we all non-distracted? Are we all up for it? Yes. From time to time, I'm going to ask you this. You already know it if you were in my class. We have to revise and understand together. Okay. Now, when we talk about Garba getting inscribed into the intangible heritage list, first question which should come to your mind is, what is this intangible cultural heritage concept? Now, here, the first 2 words which you need to understand is what is tangible, what is intangible. Tangible heritage is anything which you can touch, mostly monuments and things which have a physical form. In that, you can have a cultural site, in that, you can have a natural site, in that, you can have a mixed site also. For example, the Hoysaleshwara temples were added along with Shanti Niketan into tangible heritage list. Now we are discussing intangible. Intangible means a skill, a tradition, a festival where people are really the focus. So basically, intangible heritage is mostly skill, it's a festival, it's a culture, it is anything which is expressed through people. Intangibility itself means cannot be touched. Now, intangible heritage has a very big risk with it. See, what happens is that if there's a tangible building, it may get destroyed and you can maybe reconstruct it also. But the problem with intangible is that it is related to people. It is related to people. And therefore, if the people who practice it do not transmit it to the next generation, there's a very good chance that that heritage, culture, or that aspect of human existence can forever be lost. And therefore, this is why UNESCO came up with this concept, which is we should not just protect tangible heritage, we should also protect intangible heritage, wherein people need to be recognized, wherein traditions need to be recognized, so that people are recognized for their efforts. And that is the irony of culture, that mostly we don't value our own culture. Because ironically, except for Garba is considered very, very popular because of how Bollywood movies and multiple things are represented. But if I talk about, for example, Raman, for example, Mudiyettu, Kudiyattam, Vedic chanting, Thatheras of the Amritsar sector, or I talk about the Ladakh chanting concept itself. I talk about Chhau. These are things which are not known. Ironically, these are things we got to know, okay, this is our intangible heritage, when the UNESCO recognized it. So the first point I'm trying to make is there's a difference between heritage list and intangible heritage list. The heritage list mostly has big structures in it and areas or a whole city into it. And on the other hand, intangible is mostly festivals. For example, Durga Puja got it last year, or skills, for example, the Thateras, or a performative art, for example, Kudiyattu, Mudiyattam, Chhau, or Kalbeli. And it can also be festivals, for example, Raman, Durga, or the fact is anything where people are the expression of it, it is intangible. Are we clear about this? Why is it called intangible? What is the concept of intangible? Clear? Perfect. Great. Now, the meeting which happened in Botswana inscribed Garba of Gujarat, specific of Gujarat, into the UNESCO Intangible Heritage, or what we call as list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Now here you need to also know one thing, which is a representative list. Now this is a very interesting thing which you need to know. There are 3 ways in which you enter into the list. One is that the country nominates it. First, you go into the tentative list, and then you go into the representative list. So please remember that representative list means that you now are recognized. But you will also see this word tentative list. Tentative means that you have not been finalized till this point. So this is basically a waiting list. This is a confirmed ticket. This is a RAC. Now, this is the 15th such element which has been added. Now there are total 15 intangible heritages. And now comes the $1 million question, which some of the Americans and the Britishers of the class are asking. What is Garbha? What is Garba? Now, the Garba, first to show you the images itself, which is the concept of the Dandiya tradition, but Dandiya is only one aspect of it. Garba, that way, is a very beautiful tradition because of its clothing, and the different traditions which are involved around it. Now, see, when you know that Garba is from Gujarat, half of the task is already done. Half of the task is already done. Most of it is done because this is the standard question which can come. But now, because they can ask you statement based question, you should know why was it inscribed. What I will do is I will read the main points, put it on one slide so that you can remember it that way. Now, the ritualistic dance and devotional dance related to feminine energy and Shakti and Navratri is what is basically Garba. Garba is done during the Navratri festival, and Garba is a mostly in circles. It has a very basic pattern in what we call as concentric circles. They dance, and it is a celebration of Shakti, Durga, and therefore, in a way, Durga Puja and Garba are coming from the same idea, wherein it was Durga Puja of Kolkata and it is now Garba of Gujarat. What is common to both of them is that it is about Shakti. It is about the idea of Navratri, and therefore both are intersecting that way. Now, why has it been recognized as an intangible form? It has been because there are certain things which happen. Because it is a dance, with dance you will get music. With music you get costumes, so you get handicrafts. And the fact of the matter is, today, it brings in a lot of people together, wherein musicians, social groups, dancers, craftspeople, religious figures all come together. And in that, what it really does is it transcends the different social concept itself. So there is different forms of division in India. You know the Varna system, you know the caste system. There are multiple ways in which we divide ourselves till today. And what happens is that Garba brings everybody together. Socio-economic, gender or religious. Everybody comes together and bond. And today, before Navratri itself in Gujarat, there are people who have workshops, who have classes for Garba, and therefore Garba generates a lot of employment also for people. And therefore, the point of the matter is the NGOs, government agencies, choreographers, musicians, everything, media, everything comes together to create bond. Now, very big words. Big words. What do you need to remember out of this is I'm going to tell you straightforward. We are not here to waste time, and every minute you have right now is precious. So, what do? Garba, Gujarat. Can everybody remember this? Can everybody remember this? Garba is coming from Gujarat and it's an intangible form of cultural heritage. Very good. Now, why was it put in? It was put in for 3 reasons. First, it is the celebration of Shakti feminine energy and Navratri. Second, transcends social categories and everyone comes together. Third, the fact of the matter is NGOs, people, musicians, etc., dancers, etc., come together, community festival, and generates employment. For the people who have certain case of Gajni effect, intangible heritage means skill or forms of art which are expressed by people. Did it in the last 5 minutes itself, but certain cases of Gajni effect are always there in class, no issues. Now, this is what you have to remember out of this discussion. Are we clear about this? Feminine Shakti, social categories, everybody comes together, generates employment, intangible heritage. How does it help in creating employment? Because dancers, musicians, media, everybody gets some form of thing to do for 8 days. So it brings in everybody together. Community means everybody comes together as a community, transcends, creates social bonds. That is the word which they've used. And representative means last list. Tentative means waiting list. Now, for the students who don't remember the other intangible heritages, India has total 15, including this. So Garba becomes the latest. Before that, it was Durga Puja. Then you had the Kumbh Mela. Then you had the yoga. These are the latest 4 in that sense. Thereafter, Raman, coming from the Salar Dungra village in Uttarakhand. Thereafter, you have Vedic chanting, Ladakh monastery chanting, Mudiyattu, Kudiyattam, coming from Kerala, Ram Leela. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 more. Thereafter, Chao. We have the concept of the Thatheras of Amritsar, Kalbelia, Sankirtana, and Navroz. So this makes it 15. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, these are together the 15 which we have. Just to revise with you, basically I'm revising with you. There's nothing more. This is Gujarat. This is Kolkata, which is basically West Bengal. This is in 2 states, UP and in MP. This is no state. This is Uttarakhand because it's a skill. Again, no state. This is mostly Ladakh. These are 2 Kerala. This is UP, specifically Ramnagar. Thereafter, Chao is West Bengal, Odisha and Jharkhand. That is Punjab. That is Rajasthan, Manipur, and this is again dash. Kumbh Mela, because of the Ujjain one also, it is not just Haridwar, it is Ujjain, Prayagraj and that. Should we remember all of this? Yes, these 15 need to remember. What is Chao? Chao is a dance. Wear masks. If you've not done it with me, you will do it with me in art and culture. If you've already done it, it's a very beautiful dance tradition coming out of the West Eastern sector. They're known for their very elaborate dances and their masks, which represent the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. Okay. Nasik also, yes. So we can add here Maharashtra also. As I told you, this is again a tradition. That is why we can't keep it for one. Done? Can we take the question? Okay. Consider the following. Very easy question. Consider the following. Kumbh Mela, Garba, Raman, Vedic chanting. Which of the following have been inscribed? I am pushing you the poll. Take your time. Okay. This checks your level of awareness right now. I give 60 seconds not because you are fast. I give it because some of you get it late. So stop. Yes, Navroz is the Persian New Year, which Akbar introduced for the first time in his court. Persian New Year. Dandiya is a part of the Garba tradition. Knowing the origin state is important. Yes. 79% totally correct. 13% somehow are discounting these two. All of them are UNESCO World Intangible Heritages. We discussed it here only. So, 15 done, right? Can I say that intangible heritage, we've discussed this? Okay, now we move to the second topic then. Again, related to the UNESCO. It's called UNESCO Cultural Cities. UNESCO Cultural Cities. Now, again, simple point is, see, every city has a character. Every city has a character. Some cities are known for their, for example, food, some for music, some for literature, some for art, and some for their road rage, some for their anger, some for their pollution, so some for their monuments. Every state has a city which is famous for something for sure. Now UNESCO also recognizes this. And remember, you don't get tentative means you have gone waiting list. They will consider it for the next round. Now, remember that UNESCO doesn't give money for all of these things. It just recognizes. The recognition comes with a responsibility that you have to protect it. So there's something called the UNESCO Creative Cities Network. UNESCO Creative Cities Network. And it was created in 2004. And the idea was that they want to promote and recognize creativity as urban development. See, because what happens is when we talk about urbanization is always an enemy of or has an inverse relationship with culture. Because what happens is that the more you will expand, the more you will urbanize. Very simply, it takes away the culture or destroys culture itself. Urbanization is also not a good friend of nature and environment that ways, but culture mostly is taken away. For example, you have a certain culture of going to a street and eating something, but urbanization takes away that street itself from you. Or there's a certain place where every year there will be a circus or there will be a certain performance of Ram Leela happening. But what happens is that whole sector was created into an urban park or was made into a new type of development itself. And therefore, what happens is that again, your culture is taken away from you. Ram Leela has been destroyed in India, or Ram Leela tradition has been destroyed in India this way only. Most of the open spaces where Ram Leela used to happen, every corner, every place, there used to be a Ram Leela. But with more and more urbanization, the open spaces have gone. Same thing, for example, with regards to the Ravan, what we call as the burning of the Ravan. Everywhere it used to happen, but now, though good that way, is because it creates a lot of pollution. But the fact of the matter is, it has also been taken away. So the fact is, when urbanization happens, culture is taken away. So what UNESCO is trying to do is, it is trying to recognize how even with urban development, there is a promotion of culture, or how cities have kept their culture intact. And there are certain 7 fields, you have to remember this, 7 fields in which they give this award. The first is crafts, handicrafts. Then you have folk art. Thereafter, media and arts. Say, for example, you have Mumbai, the city of films. Film, design, gastronomy. Gastronomy means food. Literature and music. So you can see every aspect of our culture. Now we have 2 new additions into it. First, Kozhikode or Kozhikode of Kerala and Gwalior of MP. Now, the problem here is, you don't have to remember the states, but you also have to remember for what. For what? Now, Kozhikode has got it for literature. Gwalior has got it for music. If you've done music, maybe you would know Gwalior Gharana is one of the oldest gharanas of Hindustani music. And that ways, when it comes to Hindustani, North Indian music, it is one of the most important spaces. Now let's see why have these 2 got inscribed. When we talk about Kozhikode, it is a city of literature, and because of the fact that it has a literary festival which happens every year, Kerala Literary Festival has more than 500 libraries in that city. And it has always encouraged literature, writers, and libraries and reading spaces to develop. This is what UNESCO said, that even with urbanization, we have been able to balance it. We have been able to balance it. Same is for Gwalior. Gwalior is the city of music, and that is obvious because the fact of the matter is, Tansen, one of the Navratans of Akbar, the father of Dhrupad, was born in Gwalior, and Gwalior Gharana is something which is considered the oldest and most important. Now, for anybody again who doesn't know what a Gharana means, as you know, in Hindustani music, again, I'm discussing the static portion. For the people who do not understand Gharana, yeah, just visa from America has expired. Hindustani music is very open. Hindustani music is very open. Open in the sense you can play with it quite a lot. That is called improvisation. And there is something called elaboration. Improvisation is when you change the different sequence of words, and then elaboration is sitting on one swar itself. You would have seen it in, for example, classical music, not your Bollywood music. For example, you have sa sa sa, re re, ga ga. Now what improvisation would mean, that you change it. Sa 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 re, re, ga sa ga. So what you've done is you've added new elements. This is called improvisation. This is not allowed in Carnatic music, because Carnatic music, everything is already bound together, 72, what are called 72 rags, or the melakartas. On the other hand, elaboration is, for example, sitting on one swar itself. sa 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 re re ga, and then ga for 1 minute. This is called elaboration. Now, Dhrupad is known for elaboration. Khayal is known for improvisation. Now, basically, because you can play with the rags quite a lot, what happens is every region in India develops their own guru and the student or Shishya tradition. Shishya tradition. Meaning there is one teacher and then when there is one student. Now this teacher-student tradition is called gharana. If you come from one gharana, you have certain specific peculiarities. Those peculiarities is because you're coming from a gharana. Gwalior Gharana is considered the oldest. You have Gwalior, Banaras, Patiala, Agra. You have multiple Gharanas. But the Gharana concept is you have been taught by me. So I will teach you in a certain way. And that way of teaching will go to you. You will transmit it further. Therefore, it creates a Gharana. If you understand Sufi's Silsila, you understand the same thing. Same basic concept, but can change a little bit everywhere. So Gharana system, Gwalior is considered the oldest in Hindustani. Gharana system does not exist in South India because Carnatic music, there is no chance of changing anything. Everything is already properly documented and cannot be changed in that sense. Make sense? Yes, you belong to the Baijus Gharana. Sure, that way. You don't belong to the Baijus Gharana. You belong to the Abhishek Gharana, which is that you have been taught by different teachers. Every teacher has their own peculiarity. That is how UNESCO protects these sites. It just gives recognition, which in turn leads to the state be obligated to protect it. Okay. Chain of students have a peculiar art. It's called, the exact terminology is student, or rather teacher apprenticeship concept. That how I create a chain of students who have the same type of peculiarity. Now, these are not the first ones to get recognized. There are already the following cities which have been inscribed previously. For example, Jaipur was recognized as the first UNESCO cultural city state for folk art, obviously. Thereafter, the state will get funds from the center, sure. Funds are always raised by the center and state government together. It's on what scheme it is. Then Varanasi, Chennai, and now we have a new one, which is Gwalior. These become the three cities of music. Varanasi, Chennai, and Gwalior. Mumbai is obviously for film. Hyderabad is for food. Everybody knows biryani. Thereafter, Srinagar is for art. So basically, if you look at it, art, we have two cities, Srinagar and Jaipur. We have three under music, Gwalior, Varanasi, Chennai. Gwalior, Varanasi, Chennai. And we have one for film, and we have one for food, and one for literature. You can remember it like this also. But you should, these are very known cities, and obviously they are known for that itself. Three, Gwalior, Varanasi, Chennai, Srinagar, Jaipur, Hyderabad, Mumbai, and Kozhikode. Year is not important for you. Now, what you have to remember, Chennai is the birthplace of Carnatic music itself. Now, what you have to do is that you have to remember two things here now. One is the city. You have to know why, because that can come as a statement-based question. And you also have to remember for what, which is music, art, film, gastronomy, or literature. So these two things you have to remember. City, obviously, state also automatically becomes important. City, state, why, what? Literature with city, Kozhikode. Chennai is famous for music. Why is it? Chandrajyoti, abhay hai. It is. Why and all, these are questions UNESCO have to answer, not you and me. I'm sorry about the pronunciation. I can't help it. You may help it. Okay. Are we clear about UCCN concept and the cities? Literature is this is literature. Okay. Culture theme based on infrastructure is urbanization. Culture theme based infrastructure. Vikrant, don't all try to solve a problem which does not exist. And if you have a culture based infrastructure urbanization, that is not urbanization. That these two are very contradictory to each other. So this is mains or prelims oriented. This is pure prelims. Both the first topics are pure prelims. Mains oriented, I will tell you. What is Carnatic music? Music of South India. Not yet, no issues. Okay. Now. How there is differentiate between urban rural area on the basis of population? No. On the basis of buildings. And the basis of how you are, what is the profile of the state itself, profile of the city itself. Okay. Kozhikode is, again, Vivek, listen. Kozhikode is known for literature. And you are asking me for which craft is it known for? Literature. How is that you are forgetting within 5-minute cycle? I said city of literature, city of music. Now you're asking me what craft is Kozhikode known for? So criteria, as I told you, craft, folk art, media, film, design, gastronomy, literature, music. So within 5-minute cycle, that is too short a Gajani cycle. Too dangerous that way. So Varanasi is known for music. देखो यहीं लिखा है, सामने लिखा है देखो. Varanasi music, Chennai music, Mumbai film, Hyderabad gastronomy, Srinagar art, Jaipur art, Kozhikode for literature, Gwalior for music. Written in front of you. Still you're asking me the question. How is Varanasi related to music? Because there's a Varanasi Gharana. There's a very beautiful tradition which comes out of here. Again, Khayal, the most beautiful tradition comes out of Varanasi Gharana itself. See, you don't know it does not mean we don't know it or everybody does not know it. I have not seen America. That doesn't mean that America does not exist. Same way, you are, don't question. Don't question. Gastronomy means food. Don't question how. Hey, it is there and it is true. That is the irony of the story. Okay. Whatever, that is the point from Bismillah Khan to everybody comes from Varanasi only. Okay, no issues. Rajan Shajan Mishra, Varanasi Gharana, beautiful tradition. Khayal. Now, whatever is written on the screen with these two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total 8. Can I take the question? Yes? Okay, very good. Consider the following pairs. Jaipur craft folk arts, Varanasi music, Chennai gastronomy, Mumbai film. Which of the following is correctly matched? Will these be taught again in coming classes? Meaning, which class? Webinar class, class. Sanjoti, I remember your name. I don't remember where I remember you from. Art and culture. You are in my evening batch? You're in my evening batch? Yes or no? So which batch are you? Morning batch already happened. Evening batch is going on. No chili as of right now. So this art and culture part of history has not come in examination last year. No, it has come. 87% totally correct. 87% totally correct. Great, beautiful. Now I'll give you one more question out of it. Tell me which pair is the one which is incorrect. A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sending a poll, bhai. Why are you waiting? Don't worry about it. Which pair is incorrect? Which pair is incorrect? Because that way we do both type of questions. Yes, Sulakshana. Ah, 1% more know which pair is incorrect, but they answered the wrong way. Very beautiful. Okay. So this is the pair which is problematic. Either it should be Hyderabad or it should be music. This is correctly matched, this is correctly matched, this is correctly matched. 3 pair. Done? So what I've done is I've discussed current affairs with you. I've discussed static with you also. And I've done the 2 types of questions which can come in the exam also. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's now move to the third topic which we have to cover. Now this one is gastronomy, means food. Gastro, food. Okay. Gas बनता है ना, gastroenterology, gastronomy. Vikalp, I have not seen your question. Please post your question rather than writing see my question. Write the question itself. Jaipur is also Gharana, yes, but Jaipur is known for its craft more than anything. So these names first India gave to UNESCO, UNESCO then recognize. Yes. We nominate, they put it into what we call as a tentative list, and then they give the status. Okay. Now, Alta comes in prelims and mains both. But remember one thing, there's only one city which is known for gastronomy. Hyderabad, biryani, that's it. Okay. What is feminine energy? Shakti, Durga Mata. That's an American way of saying Shakti. Okay. No, there's no limit and all. Lecture will go until 10:30. Don't worry. 11 baje tak nahi. I will not take you till 11. Now comes simple topic, and basically it's a scheme to boost tourism. See, unfortunately, we are going back into that same phase where Kerala has the new strand of COVID-19. But COVID-19 impacted 3 sectors very badly. Very, very badly. Tourism, the worst, then education, and the worst of the worst was health sector. Health took the brunt. Tourism went bankrupt mostly. Education has a long-term impact. Wherein we had multiple dropout levels went very, very high. And till today, we are trying to come out of this issue itself when it comes to education. Education has long-term impact. Now, see, I will tell you when it's a mains topic, don't worry. Mostly these are prelims oriented topics. Current affairs in art and culture mostly is prelims oriented, because static questions come in the mains examination. Okay. Now, health, tourism, education were the heaviest hit in that regard. Now, the Ministry of Tourism has been trying to revive the tourism sector itself. And now we have a new scheme which they brought in, which is called the Best Tourism Village Competition and National Best Rural Homestay Competition. Now, again, some of you may not know what is homestay. One is that you go to a hotel. Hotel is an institution. This institution has a lot of people in the in the kitchen, it will have it in the hospitality sector, it will have it in basically laundry sector. Very big institution that way. However, there's a new concept which has been emerging in India today, which is homestay. For example, you have a very big house, very big house, and in that house you have 8 rooms. It's next to the lake, and it was made by, for example, your forefathers. Now, this, you are only husband, wife, or only one person. So what do you do? So what is the new concept is that you basically create a homestay experience, that you ask people to come and take the rooms. You curate, what is called curated. You curate or organize everything for them, which is, it is basically like a hostel. It is like a hotel room, just that the fact is it's a homestay. It can be for one day, it can be for 2 day. Basically, you are not taking a room in a hotel, but you're taking in someone else's home. That's why homestay. Now, homestay has a very interesting concept. The interesting concept is, for example, you have a very good cook, and your cook can make very good fish or chicken or paneer. So you can curate their experience. That I'm paying 5,000, 6,000 for a room. They give me food. They take me to the lake. If we go and see the farm, it's basically, it's not living on rent. It's, you are paying for a room rather than going into a hotel, which is a proper institution which has been built. This is not even PG and all are 1 month stay. Monthly charges are there. Home stays, that you just stay at someone else's home, and they curate they organize the whole experience for you. Can't call it a dharamshala also, because dharamshala is a proper institution which has been developed. It's just that you have, I have a home, 4 rooms. Now I can just give one room to some person. He can stay there. I can provide food to that person, and that is part of the homestay itself. Now, resort is also a proper resort. It's a homestay. Nami mein na, homestay. Home stay. Stay at someone else's home, and they get some money. You get a good experience. You are not, you are getting very good food in front of you. It's self-made. It's not a kitchen, and you can also be next to nature. This and that. All big things, first world things. We don't have money to stay in a rented house. Who will do homestay? But big people have this thing now, that they can't. For example, they don't like the hustle and the bustle of the city, so they go to the rural countryside, take a homestay, and spend some time and come back. Standard big people problem. Now, this is something. Airbnb is again not that. Airbnb is a proper, it's like Oyo rooms. You're technically Oyo and Airbnb is the same thing. This is basically people, genuine people like you and me in rural India, getting employment, getting money from very big houses we've made on scenic routes and scenic places. Again, this is the patience I have with regards to explaining you homestay. After that, just Google it, you'll find it. The fact of the matter is, there is a problem, no identity, all terrorists can use. No, that is not true. You 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 give your Aadhaar card, you get it checked, there's a police verification. It's not that you randomly pick up person from this road and say, stay in my home. That is not what is happening. It's a proper curated concept. If you go into Make My Trip right now, if you're going to go Ibibo, or if you go into any, there are 2-3 options it will show you. Hotel, homestay, it will show you resort. So homestay, but click on homestay, you learn it. It's basically an hostel experience, a small, simple experience. Sometimes you want to help Make in India. Sometimes you want to do Make in India. In Himachal Pradesh, in Ladakh, in Uttarakhand, big hotels are not possible. But people have very big houses. They have one room there. See, it's a very good concept. It's a very good concept. I'll move on now. It's a very good concept because it helps generate employment. The person can get some income out of it. They can maintain it. A cook, for example, a washerman, a person who cleans the house. Everybody gets certain type of experience, certain type of money. It's a good concept itself. So what the Ministry of Tourism has done is that they are now giving rankings. They are giving different type of categories, that you are a gold, you are a silver, you are a bronze category. Can you be can be can of be an example of homestay? I don't know what you mean by that half of the answer. PG is not an example of homestay. That PG is PG, paying guest. But go and explore today, make my trip. I tell you to do it. Okay. Now, just write homestay. Huh? Now, three things. Why am I telling you homestay? Because homestay can be a question or an answer for a lot of things in India, rural India. Because rural India has very beautiful nature, very close to nature, but they don't have employment or they don't have opportunity to generate money. So these homes can be made into homestays, and therefore income diversification in additional income can come in. Now what the Ministry of Tourism is doing is giving them categories. Because if I am a person who wants to do a homestay, how do I know which is a good one and a bad one? And therein they are giving recognition that this is gold class, silver class, bronze category. The prices will be accordingly like this only, and it will also tell you how good the experience is. It's basically a rating system in that sense. So Ministry of Tourism has done it, best tourism village and best homestay competition, which is that who can have the best homestay experience in that sense. Now, this way, rural countryside, senior citizens, women, self-help groups can actually develop a lot of income because of this. Now, the idea is it's a multi-sectoral approach and multi-stakeholder approach. What do I mean by that? See, Ministry of Tourism is launching this as a strategy to develop a roadmap for rural tourism. See, tourism can always not be just about what we call as cultural spaces, it can also be about experience. So, when you have promotion of rural homestays, it helps you. And NGOs, governmental, industry stakeholders, local communities, PPP model is also being applied so as to bring in the level of comfort which people want. Self-help groups can develop certain sectors in the in the village itself, which can basically be a curated experience. Individuals who have very big houses, senior citizens who have very big houses, people who have no income out of agriculture can have a certain type of experience built around it. For example, vineyards, for example, strawberry picking. Nowadays it has become very common that people go to the countryside and they have a whole village experience, that they go and meet the animals, they go and meet and see how honey is made, they go and see a lot of things. So the simple point is Ministry of Tourism has now found this as a very good opportunity. They found it as an opportunity wherein they can see that if we push it, if we institutionalize it, maybe it will become a very good sectoral concept itself. PPP is public private partnership, wherein certain public and private partners can help develop these homestays also. Now, you don't have to remember anything. You just have to remember the ministry, which is tourism. Thereafter, you also have to just remember that it is about rural development, rural development, and the idea of rural tourism. How do I do that? Homestays and experiences and simple point, they are creating categories of good and bad homestay experiences. That is the only thing you need to remember in the examination. Can you do this? which ministry, what is the idea, what is the concept, right? Silver, gold, bronze, but okay. But again, can small scale poor farmers benefit out of this program? If they come into a self-help group, sure. Cooperative, sure. If not, it's not for them. Okay. Is there any chance of robbery or criminal activities in these areas? Sure, why not? Why not? Robberies and criminal activities happen in hotels also. So that is a part of the whole concept itself. Air, water pollution, if it goes out of hand, yes. Anything till moderation is good, after that it becomes a problem. If I go and do a homestay and then I start to litter quite a lot, then it will become a problem. But homestays are not based on industrial experience, it is based on simple living in that regard. Okay, now aim, aim, aim can become a hub for bad things. Very positive thinking that ways. I don't get it how you are basically making these homestays as Al Qaeda hubs for some reason, but everything is checked, everything is done. The Taliban will not ever take the homestay experience. Sleeper cells will never stay in homestays because you're paying by the day. So I understand we don't understand and trust Pakistan, but they will never take homestays because you have to get verified for everything. Okay. But trust issues, I understand. All precautions should be taken. Make sure that it does not become a terrorist hub. I can't keep a straight face. Okay. So we have to make sure that we don't make it into a terrorist hub. Sure. So aims may we have to also add a rider caution. Make sure terrorists do not misuse it. And terms and conditions apply. So we have to make a healthy competitive environment amongst the villagers. Outstanding contributions to rural tourism should be appreciated. Not just boost tourism, but also increase community involvement. And that is a basic point here. Okay. Can I take the question if you all are clear? Okay, great. Perfect. And the Ministry of Tourism has also established a central nodal agency called Rural Tourism and Rural Homestay, CNA, RT, and RH. This will basically give you the trainers who will train you for homestays, propagate this idea, and also check everything. So, internal security class, I'll ask Chetan sir to take this idea that rural tourism boosting, Ministry of Tourism has to take care. Okay. Question, very easy question. Which of the following ministries has launched the National Best Rural Homestay Competition 2024? If you are street smart, you already have the answer on the screen. Train you, meaning you don't have experience in hospitality industry. So you will rather, they will train you how to do it and how to go forward. Come on, I want 100%. If you are not 100, if this does not get 100%, then some of you are watching this with your eyes closed. Literally. $88. 9.2%. यहीं लिखा है Ministry of Tourism. So I just did not have it. This is, see, I'll tell you, you will say, sir, this is a very easy question. Now think of it that when the answer is in front of you, you can't answer it. Now what will happen is that in the examination, this will actually make more sense. You will think best rural homestay, rural development. Ironically, obviously, Niti Aayog is not a ministry. That is why nobody pushed it. But no issues. So these 9%, I hope next time you will look for the answer in the question itself. Right? Okay. Ministry of Finance. Sure. Okay. Now, something which students love. GI tags. Remembering GI tags. Now, I'll do two things here. First, I'll tell you in brief what is GI. And second, what do you do with this information? Because just knowing the state of each one of them is more than enough. But I will try to give you a basic overview of what do we mean by GI tags. Now, as it is, remembering GI tags is very, very difficult task because it keeps on increasing. Right now, the GI tag list is close to 800 plus. So, best of luck with that. But we can remember the ones which are in the news for sure. Now. What is GI? First question first. Now, GI means geographical indication. Now, geographical indication is basically a concept which comes out of something called TRIPS. It's a WTO trade related intellectual property rights. This is a very important convention. Intellectual property means whatever your idea is. Now, under TRIPS, there are a lot of words. Patent, copyright, trademark, and the concept of registered. Now, patent is something which is for mostly industrial design, in the pharma industry, and for certain inventions. And breaching patents is very punishable offense. You can't do it. You can get jail for breaching, or fines can be there for patent breaching if you breach it. Copyright, you'd have seen something like this. Small c comes in. This is basically for literature. So for any book, it is copyrighted. So my book is copyrighted to me, and you don't have the right to copy it until you ask me. So copyrighted. Thereafter, yes, music is also done. Music, etc. Anywhere there is lyrics is basically that. Trademark is TM. This is a trademark. This is a trademark. You can't use it. You can't breach it because no one else can use it. And registered is for companies. For example, you'd have seen, it would say like this. It will say trademark Nike registered. It would say Nike is a registered company. Trademark is this tick. Nike, whatever you want to call it. But in India, we are very good. Adidas, we do it. We infringe all of this very quickly. This is Adidas. This is registered. This is trademark. So Nike, Nikki, Adibas, we do it, and we have done it quite a lot. So if you want to infringe it in Sarojinagar, in a lot of different areas, you will find it. Now, GI is basically the sister of, or the brother of, trademark. But GI is quite different because it has a very different protocol itself. These four, if you infringe, you are actually going to be punishable by offense, punishable by the law itself. But GI is not like that. Do we understand where GI fits in? GI is basically related to trademarks. Are we clear about this? This is the larger regime which is called TRIPS. TRIPS has all of these things. One of the concepts itself is TRIPS. which is TRIPS has GI. Now, what does this GI actually mean? GI, the exact wording is that it is recognition and it gives customers the peace of mind that a certain product has a certain characteristic because of its geographical origin. Geographical origin. GI basically gives recognition to the producer and peace of mind to the consumer that they are buying something which is very authentic. For example, let's take the example of this. For example, the Tangsa textile. Now you see this is Tangsa textile coming from the Arunachal Pradesh sector. Now this textile is made only in Arunachal. Now if it has a small tag attached to it saying GI, now basically you know that it is authentic Arunachal Tangsa textile, and the person who's selling it can sell it at a higher price because it is recognized. Basically, it does not allow copies. But if somebody wants to copy, you can copy. But you can take that producer to the registrars of GI and that copy will be removed. Now, what is this concept? See, this cloth is very vibrant colors, very what we call as very patla, very thin, but keeps you very warm. This happens because the silk which they use or the handicraft which they're using is from a specific way in which they make it, and therefore its geographical origin in Arunachal gives it a certain type of characteristic, and therefore this you can only make and produce in Arunachal Pradesh. Now, very important point, GI is never given to a person. It is always given to a state or producers. Very simply, for example, there is a concept that we have given it to Manipuri lychee, for example. Now, this means that lychee produced in Manipur, everybody who produces in Manipur can claim on the box GI. It is never given to individuals. It's given to group, state, or producer. So understand this point. GI is quite different to trademark. Trademark is given to a specific company and only that company can use it. However, GI can be given to a region. Given to a whole industry? No. Industry is the wrong word. If I say that Darjeeling tea is recognized under GI, everybody producing within Darjeeling border can use the word GI. And that recognition has been given by the registrar of GI under the 1999 Act. But if you are producing it in Karnataka Darjeeling tea and writing GI, then that's a breach. Simple point is Tirupati Laddu. Tirupati Laddu you'll find everywhere. But if it says Tirupati Laddu GI, it means it has originated from Tirupati itself. It gives two things. recognition to the producer so that he can sell in the market separately, and it gives consumer the idea that okay, I know what I'm buying. Kashmiri apples, only coming from Kashmir, they will have GI on the box itself. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? What is GI? GI students understand a little bit differently. I'm telling you, it's a very wide concept wherein there's no penal. You can't take person to a court saying that he's using my GI. No, registrar is going to reprimand. The state would have to remove it. But every state wants more and more GI. And other countries can also take GI in India. India can take it somewhere else also. There was a major controversy where Patanjali, Ramdev Baba, Patanjali, was taking GI in America for neem. So the registrar in India said, neem tree everywhere is there. How can you say that it is your GI? So GI gives national and international recognition. Does this make sense to you? Does this make sense to you? What is GI? Okay, if you understand this, let's talk about the ones which have been recently prescribed. Ladakh got the GI for what is called as the sea buckthorn, and Ladakh already has it for the apricot, the pashmina, and the wood carving. But now there's one more entry, which is Ladakh sea buckthorn. And in the areas of Kargil, the farmers were extremely happy because close to 90% of all buckthorn produced in India comes from Ladakh itself. And now what they can do is that they can package it saying GI recognized Ladakh buckthorn. And when you buy, other people are also producing that 10%, but now they can't claim that they are Ladakh ones. So you get better recognition, and the consumer also can identify the best thing possible. India has given it to multiple countries. Italy, we've given it to Germany, we've given it to 3 to 4 different countries. Then from Arunachal, we have 3 different entries. One is called the Arunachal Yak Churpi. This is basically cheese made out of yak milk itself. So this churpi is made by, now you need to remember this, by the Borkpas, who are tribal yak pastoralists, basically who rear yaks. And yaks have to go beyond 13,000 feet because in the summer period, they can't take the heat of the Arunachal sector under 10,000 feet itself. So yak is an animal. And from its milk, the Borkpas produce a cheese called the Arunachal Yak Churpi. Thereafter, the Khwate Khamti rice variety is also the second one to get it from Arunachal. You have the Yak Churpi and the Khwate Khamti rice. This is also a specific rice which comes from Arunachal, which has got its variety. Now they can sell it in, for example, in Delhi or in Karnataka, saying that this is the authentic Khwate Khamti rice coming from Arunachal itself. Now, the last is, as I told you, Thangsa Textile. Thangsa Textile comes from Arunachal Pradesh. Again, got the GI tag in that sense. Other than that, we have the Lakdong turmeric, which comes from Meghalaya. The turmeric is known for its very vibrant color, very high turmeric value in the form of curcumin, which is close to 6.8 to 7.5%. And it is found in the Lakdong area of the Jaintia Hills. This is what you have to remember again. So here you have small peculiarities, but I will show you what type of question can come. We had to discuss Buckthorn, Arunachal, and this is Meghalaya. Clear, everybody? Again, this is a moving target. We keep on moving forward. You may know about a GI from your state. Very good, perfect, great. Yes? Okay. So if a particular region gets GI on any particular product, anyone in the region can produce it. Yes. Anyone. Every yak producer, every Lakdong area, everybody is going to get that GI. GI is always given to collective, not to individuals. Are we clear about this? Yes. Now, what type of question can come in the examination? I'll show you. And I hope that everybody is going to get it correct also. Simple, straightforward question like this. The Tangsa textile, which was recently in the news, belongs to which state? Simple, very straightforward question. Come on. This is the realistic question which can come. No mains question. This is the only type of question which can come. The textile and the state. That's it. These things seem very easy right now, but over a period of time they become very difficult to answer, because the more information you will gather, the more the problem will be. 91% beautiful Arunachal Pradesh. Great. Arunachal Pradesh, Yakchurpi, Thang textile, Khamti rice, and this was Meghalaya, this was Ladakh. In the end, I will again summarize everything, so don't worry. Thereafter, two simple, straightforward concepts. One is called the Boita Banda. I am not the right one to pronounce it, so please mind my pronunciation. It's Odisha Maritime Heritage commemorated through a festival. It's called Boita Bandana, and basically it celebrates as a festival the connection of Southeast Asia with Odisha, or Odisha's old name, which is Kalinga. This whole what we call as a festival is symbolically representing boats, and in that sense, again, standard thing will be which state does it come from? Festival state. So it is celebrated for, it's a boat making festival, and it is done on Kartik Purnima, and it basically commemorates the ancient relationship of commemorating means to celebrate for Odisha with Southeast Asian countries. The deep historical significance is that how the east coast was linked to the Indonesian sector, to Thailand, to the whole area itself, and Java, Sumatra, Bali, Indonesia, the Boitas were used to trade. These merchants used to be called Boitas, who used to trade with this sector. That is why Boita Banda. And the act of setting sail was basically celebrated quite a lot. And you can see, can anybody tell me why would it happen in Kartik Purnima, November, December, that they would set sail for not the Southeast Asian countries? Can anybody tell me this? Use your geographical understanding. Geography, tell me why. It's not high tide. It's not, if it's, what is the exact word? Don't use the word trade wind. What is the exact word? It is the retreating monsoon. Retreating monsoon, northeastern sector, the trade wind goes like this. Therefore, it was easier to travel. Retreating monsoon, it is easier to travel into the Southeast Asian sector. So the upper air circulation is such. So you can see they are basically celebrating the change of the monsoon from southwestern to northeastern. So you can see how it marks the upper air circulation change itself, which is quite interesting that way. Now on Kartik Purnima, what happens is banana stem, paper, colored cloth, miniature boats are made. They're put into rivers, ponds, and the sea as a way of marking their movement itself. Now people obviously don't go that way. Big ships are there, but it in a way shows the rich culture of Odisha and its connection with the world itself. And it's a connecting link between the merchant community of Odisha and the merchant community of these sectors itself. So again, festival state is what you have to remember. Can I ask you the question? Yes? Okay. Now, very simple. I want 100% record here. And this is again something which you will find easy right now, but over a period of time will become difficult. So do not underestimate these questions. These are pure factual questions which come in the examination. And from time to time it happens. In the examination, these are the questions which we think are very difficult. But my job is to make sure that you revise it here and we move forward automatically. 97% correct. 1111% are not looking at this. It is written here only. Yes. So after this, I consolidate. Remember, consolidate. Don't leave the session. Let me consolidate everything. Last one topic is left. Okay. The last topic is very simple, straightforward. A GI related toys tradition and one basic what we call as scheme. Now, Chenapatna toys were in the news recently, and this comes from Karnataka. Got a GI, very old GI in 2005 only, and it comes from a very specific district, the Ramnagar district, and they are known for their children's toys. They are known for their children's toys. I know there are 7 topics. Don't worry. All 7 will be taken. That 6th here, 7th, one more. Told you, 2 are there. Last major topic that was. Now, these toys come from Karnataka, the Ramnagar sector itself, and the story of these toys is that basically the king of Mysore and after that Tipu Sultan, they loved the way the Persian artists used to produce the small toys for children. They are made with ivory wood nowadays, with every wood, but it's very blunt so that a child cannot hurt himself. So the Persian art design here started to produce with wood very beautiful toys. Now this is a very old recognized tradition. Why is it important? Because recently in Afghanistan, in the schools of Afghanistan, these toys will be part of the academic activities. Basically, India has donated a lot of these toys to be used in schools. So these are not the Taliban run schools. There are still certain sectors which are with the old US type of administration. So there are schools obviously, but the fact is this was done previously as an agreement. We don't care what is happening in Afghanistan, but what is more important is this was in the news generally. So you again have to know from which state these toys come from. That is the only thing you need to remember. There's no rocket science here, and nobody wants you to do anything more than this. These are very simple, straightforward concepts which should be known to you. So here again, you just need to know Karnataka. That is it. I will consolidate. So I will tell you everything what you have to remember from today in general. That is this. And you can see, got a GI in 2005. It is made with 100% chemical free things, blunt edges, safe for children. And this is the type of question which will come. Now again, it's easy right now, later becomes difficult. But I hope everybody is going to get it correct. Here the answer is not on the screen. We'll consolidate after this, then the last topic. Others for art and culture, whatever has happened in the past 2 months, I've covered it for you. Every month I'll come up with these things. 95% totally correct, Karnataka. Now, before I go to the last topic, I'll show you this leaderboard also, don't worry. First, let's try to do something. We've discussed 6 topics. First topic, Garba, Gujarat. Why? UNESCO intangible. Yes. Second topic, Kozhikode, Kerala, Gwalior, MP Literature and Music, UCCN Creative Cities Network. Thereafter, we discussed homestays and rural tourism. That is Ministry of Tourism. Thereafter, we discussed Yak Churpi, Tangsa, and Khemti rice from Arunachal, and the turmeric from Meghalaya, and the sea buckthorn from Ladakh. Thereafter, all GIs. In this, we discussed GI static. In this, we discussed static of this, static here. Thereafter, we've done Chennapatna, Karnataka, and Boita Bandana, Odisha. This is what we've done. If you can remember this slide, 99.9% of my task is already done. You do one thing. When you get the recording of this session, just note all of this down. What I want from all of you is very simple. Keep a repository now. Every month I'll do 6 to 7 topics with you. Just keep on noting it in one register, one page. Keep on noting like this. Trust me, it will really help you in the examination, because these are small things which basically we forget, and it will generally help you in the last moment. These are the areas which students run from. This is where you have to look for a lot of things. As it is, by the end of the year, when we do our crash course, the art and culture prelims crash course, I will do all of this again also. We'll refresh our memory. But keep on creating this repository for 2025, 26, 27, 20, 30, 50, 3000. Whenever you give the examination, the list becomes longer. So it doesn't really matter. What is a crash course? Anjali, we crash the course. We will discuss that when we will reach there. So that is what happens on YouTube. We crash the course, which is on YouTube. Don't worry. Crash course done on YouTube. When we'll reach there, right? So I'm not going to at 10:30 in the night tell you what is a crash course, but crash course. It is for everybody and for you separately in this app itself. Date and all I can't give you right now. Later. आगे नहीं वो करेंगे. We'll do it later. Right now, be here. Present. Later, when it will come, I will tell you. Don't worry. But it will basically be a recap of all of this only. Present. Everybody clear about this? Can I do the last topic? I want everybody's yes. Yes? Okay. Last topic. Mera gaon, meri dharohar. Now, this scheme, Ministry of Culture, trying to map and document every village for its culture. So every village has a peculiarity, and that peculiarity can become part of culture. So let us map everything. So the National Mission on Culture Mapping is being done by a NGO which is called Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts. We do it in class, static portion. And the Ministry of Culture, this part is helped by the IGNCA, and this is to comprise of or comprehensive information of the life, history, ethos of villages, and have real-time visitors. Again, rural tourism in a way. Again, rural tourism. And basically it's about linking every village with something for which it is known for. Again, not path breaking, not very big, very straightforward. In these type of schemes, you just have to remember the ministry where it is linked to, and that you can see from the question itself. This is the last question, and then I show you the leaderboard, how everybody has done. Please answer this question. Hindi slogan, Mera Gaon Meri Dharwar means my village, my culture, my heritage rather. My culture, my heritage. One district, one product becomes different. A village cannot be a district. But there is a scheme, yeah, that way. Okay. Ministry of Culture. Somehow when I put rural development, people, gaon, rural, overthinking, rural development. Okay. So with this, we end our session. Thank you so much. I hope you found it useful. Leaderboard, I'm showing you. Show leaderboard. Okay, so we have Shrija 8 out of 80 out of 80. Sonia, Varsha, Pooja. Then you have Gurvansh, Kumari Ganga, Lekha, Pratibha, Mudrika, Harshita, Fiza, Sonia, Adriza, Ayush, Prerna, Imi, Shweta, Sukanya, Nutan, Dhwani, and Pravalika. I'm sorry about mispronouncing your name. All female list. Now, if your name is not there, fastest finger first, only 14 names are shown. But no problem, no issues. Revise. Thank you. I will see you next month. Same thing. We'll keep this tradition on, and I hope you found this 2.5 hours generally useful, because this is where my role comes in. Art and culture we do in static. This we make sure that our repository keeps on getting compiled. Yes? Okay. Thank you so much. Good night. Some of you, I see you tomorrow in the evening class. If not, very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.